Bear with me. My phone been tripping all day. And I gotta check the sound to make sure the connection is good. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving honor and praise and worship to our power. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honor to our apostle, Elder Bishop Great Millstone. We will teach one the sound doctrine and strong shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright, and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children. That YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI will have mercy on these last days. Alright, perilous times that we're currently living in. And that's exactly what it is. Perilous meaning dangerous. Alright, it's your brother HAQADASH representing GMS branch in Cleveland. Willing to bring out a quick and edifying transit. And the title the Spirit gave was it's important to stick to the formula the elect will. It's crazy because of the Spirit, I was just about to go live. On this topic. It was called something else. And then while I was trying to like meditate on some other things, I was clicking on the Apostle Ramla lesson, the one he was just live on. I don't know if he's still live. And I tuned in right into the point that clicks in with the lesson I was about to go into. So I ended up titling it based off something the Apostle Ramla said in that walk and talk. You know, which one of the words he used was formula, right? And that's through the Spirit, because again, it's important to stick to the formula the elect will. You see, because the scriptures say, let me get this real quick. In Matthew, I think it's in Matthew. This is, Matthew 7. Let's go to verse, let's start at verse 18. Matthew 7 and 16. It says, ye should know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not fruit, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. You see? So, by your fruits, you should know a man by his fruits. Okay? The fruit in which he produce tells what type of manner of man that is. For example, a carnal example would be you go to a grocery store, and every time you go to that grocery store, the apples, the fruit usually are bad on the shelf, man. You know what I'm saying? They always have not a good selection of fruit, right? So that store started to become what? Known by its fruit. Literally. You know, like, hell no, man, I'm never going to this so-and-so store X, you know what I'm saying? Because their ginger is always bad. You see what I'm saying? So now, not only do they, not only does that affect them, they've lost a customer. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, that's why they got the fruit in the front of the store. It's a I sent the video a while ago to some brothers, or posted it. I can't remember everything it was talking about, but it was talking about the business of, you know, the grocery stores and how it's set up. It's systematically it's strategically set up the way it is, with the fruit in the front, and then you walk, and then the milk, and then the way it's set up, you go around the store and so forth. Dog food all the way in the back, and it's set up like that. A lot of people have pets, and then you gotta pass all this stuff. Oh, now you want to buy some juice. So it's set up business-wise strategically, right? And they got the fruit in the front, and because the fruit, they put coatings of wax on it, and they make the fruit shine. The apples, right? Different of tomatoes and oranges, and they got the water spraying on the vegetable. They got the water spraying on the you know, the greenery. All that systematic and strategically designed when you go into the grocery store. Okay, but so, you know, they clean the trays, how the trays is all clean and all that. So when you go into that store, when you go into that store, you literally would know that, you literally would know that store buys fruit. You see? You know, like, damn, okay, yeah, store X always has, I tell my wife sometimes, just so to paint a carnal example to you, I tell my wife sometimes all the time, like, yo, hey, go to this store because they got good produce, or go to this store because their produce is phenomenal, which lets me know other things, right, about the store. So I literally, you're known by the fruits, right, because that it shows the diligence, okay, and it shows the inner man. Okay, it shows what you're doing behind closed doors. It shows what you're doing when no one is looking. Okay, if I go to the store and I see trash underneath the trays, and I go to the store again a month later and that same trash is still underneath that tray, somebody just pushed it under further because they don't never lift the trays and clean it up. Well, then exactly. So that's the same thing I liken it to men, right? Men are known by their fruits, their inner man. What you are in the inner man displays on the outward appearance, okay, right? You can and beyond, because the outward appearance can look good, but the inner man could be off. So YAHAWASHI, he said, and when we just read in Matthew 7, I'm gonna read that last. I'm gonna read 20 again. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So you're gonna know a man by his fruits, okay? And the fruit that, and the fruit of a great millstone, because it's not about great millstone. The name Great Millstone, it's about the doctrine which we teach. We teach 100% truth when it comes to receiving salvation. When it comes to what YAHAWASHI's will is on the earth, what YAHAWASHI's will is on the earth, we uphold to that. We don't deviate from it. We don't try to alter it, try to, you know, make it this way and make it that way so that people look at us. No, we want to far remove ourselves out the way and give all the reverence, all the credence, all the praise, worship, honor, and glory unto YAHAWASHI, man. You see? It says, so anything we teach according on behalf of the King, man. That's what we're doing. We're hurling in the King, man. You know, we came, we do the trumpet. Behold, King YAHAWASHI is soon to make his return, you know, and so forth. And that's how we're doing it, by the means of prophesying and teaching, man. So I just wanted to start right there, because again, let me go back to the title. It's important to stick to the formula the elect will. So again, I have made the analogy with an actual store, because if I'm the manager of the store, my employee is going to have to deal a certain way. They can't just fucking clean how they want to. Yeah, they might clean their house that way, but they can't clean my store that way. You know what I'm saying? I want my fruit this way. I want the trays cleaned. I want every 30 minutes sweep around the fruit area, so that when somebody picking their fruit and vegetables, they don't see trash everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So again, so that means that in this house, in this store of YAHAWASHI, because this is a business, YAHAWASHI has set up what? Managers and a task force. You have set up different task force for different individuals, different prophets, and you know, and holy men to fulfill different roles in the church. See what I'm saying? And the elect are going to do that. The elect are going to follow suit. You see, because these task force and these different jobs that we have in the ministry, right? They're to keep they're to uphold the building. They're to keep the functioning of the family business. The family business that we're operating in is the greatest business on the earth, and it's known by His name. And Yahweh's name is attached to His business. Yahawah's name is attached to this business. So when we go out and teach and we preach, we carry that reputation, that name, that shum, right? That we carry that reputation with us. Okay? That's why a man may be known by his fruit. Because if I'm teaching the right doctrine, people should see Yahawah in me. They shouldn't see anything else but that light. They shouldn't, you know, I'm talking about the elect, right? And people in general, right? But let me get this, because let me get Acts. It's like it's a lot of traffic out in this joint. This is Acts 2. Let me get bear with me, because I want to get this quick precept. Real quick. This is Acts 2. I think it's like 40. Let's see, is it 42? Acts 2. Yeah. Okay. Acts 2 and 42. Now this is dealing with the Acts of the Apostles, you know, miracles, different things was happening, speaking in tongues and different things was happening, right? One of the first acts of power for the apostles, right, was the speaking in tongues, right? This is Acts 2 and 42, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayer. So, right, we already have the doctrine when and everything to equip ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually when it comes to receiving salvation and to be covered from the wrath of the Lamb. We already have that. Yahawah gave the blueprint. He gave the formula. You see, and we continue in that. We continue in the doctrine. We continue in that formula. You see, this ain't something new. Like these dudes, Hassad and Deacon Hakar from Genesis that broke off from Sakari. These dudes, they getting worse and worse. Just like you do. Because Sakari was already starting to wax worse, because they stem from Great Millstone, but then they started teaching other things. And the more they started, the first time you start to incorporate different things that's other than that you were taught, that leave room for what? That rust to spread, that mold to spread, that virus to spread, that leaven to leaven the whole lump. You see, now they talking about Hebrews is not this. It's not, you know, it's thoughts and opinions, and Paul's writings don't matter, and Peter did this and James did that. You know? Like, bro, and all of this coming, if you pay attention, for the sincere believers, they're going to pay attention to this, and they're going to see that, oh, this can't be the way. You know why? What's one given proof and one concrete way you can prove that? Is because why? We're at the end. If you measure everything according to the prophecies, you won't be bamboozled with wizardry and sorcery. If you measure everything according to the scriptures, when it comes to prophecies, according to the prophecies, you won't be bamboozled and you won't be hoodwinked. You see? And we're at the end. So if we're at the end, let's say it like this. Say like Genesis is teaching about this whole concept of hell, and they teaching like Catholics, right? So let's say that was the way, right? Well, that would mean that we had way much longer to go in Babylon than we think. That's what that would mean, because that would mean that they are the elders, and we all got to end up coming under them eventually and learning that way, and that's the truth. You see how bugged out that is? You know how much time and much energy and much, bro, a lot of information that we have put out in these videos. I'm going on almost 10 years, and a lot of these videos that we didn't put out within just my short time of being in the ministry, the other brothers, 10, 15, 20 years, however we've been on, yo, a lot of these videos we can't even find no more. A lot of this information we can't even find no more, because the Lord is he closing everything up, man. No, that's bugged the fuck out, man. But yeah, man, so we continue, and let me read that again, Acts 2 and 42. And they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayers. So things that we've learned, matter of fact, let's get that, 2 Timothy Apostle, well, I'm gonna pull this out as well. 2 Timothy 3, 14. It says, shit, man. Let's start at 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And that's what you see. They're deceiving and they're being deceived. You see, the elect, it's impossible to deceive the very elect, man. You see? So the Lord gave us a blueprint. We recognize the blueprint. We believe the blueprint. By faith, the elders obtained a good reason. Men came before us for a reason. Because it was going to what? Be different time frames in which the other elect were going to come into the fold. And we needed it set up like that for that particular reason. And because how the prophecies are already stamped and their dates already stamped, bro. Everything is already set up. Yo, it says, so it's important for us to stick to the formula. This is 2 Timothy 3. And so you got people, evil men. These are evil men. Dark men that's deceiving the people. Misleading the flock. You know? Hey, broad is the way. You know? I'm roughly paraphrasing. You know? Hey, these niggas taking that wide road instead of that narrow path. It says 2 Timothy 3, so that's evil men and seducers shall wax and worse. So that's why you see them talking about this and talking about that. They changing their doctrine. Hey, scripture say meddle not with him that give it to change. You see what I'm saying? They could change the doctrine every goddamn week. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to recognize these different things. And the elect, yo, the elect is all they on point, man. They see the gimmicks and schemes and all that, man. Cause it can be enticing. They speak smooth with their words, like Esau. You know, because that's sorcery, man. Hey, 2 Timothy 3 and 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. Right, Apostle Ramon was just talking about that. He said, hey, they continue in the formula that they learned in One West. The only tweaks minor tweaks that they had was certain things when it came to certain breakdowns, all right, and certain prophecies, man. Like the Cornelius thing, right? They taught he was a Edomite in the school, but the apostles, through the apostle Gabar, who brought it to Apostle Tahar's attention, you know, mentioned how Cornelius is an Israelite. It was an uproar in the school. Hey, you know, I wasn't there, but you can go into the history. The apostles talk about the history because it's important. All right, it's all a part of that mystery. You know what I'm saying? We know the history, so we can understand the mystery. You know what I'm saying? So, and other things, man. You know, that's just one example. But for the most part, that Hebrew we teach is the same. You know what I'm saying? All the way we, you know, conduct camps and the way we do things, the structure and the formula was already given to us, man. We ain't coming up some motherfucking way from these other crazies, man. These people are crazy. There's other camps and these other people in these other camps, man. They're crazy. These leaders, it's all for greedy lucre's sake, for filthy gain, for filling their own belly and getting their rocks off, man. They act just like an Edomite. So look, what do we do? Again, 2 Timothy 3 and 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of. These things have been proven to be true. Knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So now you have to understand and count the cost and consider who you are learning from. Right? If you're sincere, the Lord is going to guide you. Because when I first came to the truth, shit, hey, yo, some brothers came straight in. You know, a lot of brothers didn't. You know, I'm talking about under Great Millstone. Shit, the apostles wasn't Great Millstone when they first came in. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You don't discredit the years that they came in, because it's whenever they woke up to the faith. They woke up to the faith long before Great Millstone was even established. You see what I'm saying? You had a form of it. You know what I'm saying? You had a form of it, and I guess a startup version of it. But before that, yo, you had what they had to come in like that, so that zeal can be polished, you know, and they can do what they do. Now they are who they are today. They've learned from the men that they needed to learn from, even if those great men are bugged out right now and never, you know. However the Lord set it up, for the portions to be exactly how it was, and now we have the elders and apostles, Great Millstone, who the truth goes through. You see, The truth goes through the apostles and elders of great millstone. They're known by their fruit. They not sugarcoating nothing. They're not trying to gain. They're not selling you breakdowns. Right? These are the vessels that YAHWASHI are using when it comes to seal the elect. All right, and to seal the fate of the elect, and to seal the fate of the enemy. And 2/3 can be likened into our enemy as well. You see, the right doctrine had to go into the earth. This is sorry. Bear with me. Bear with me. There's cops out here. It's Iraq. Let me get Iraq. Look, it's Iraq. I think it's 24. Yeah. Alright, if I get a couple precepts in here and we can just close out. It's Iraq 24. And verse 18. It says, now this chapter is dealing with wisdom, right? This chapter, Sirach 24, is dealing with wisdom. So it says, we'll jump around. It says, it's a lot in here. Just so you know, it's talking about wisdom. This is Sirach 24:1. Wisdom should praise herself and show glory in the midst of her people, right? So wisdom praises herself because it's true. It always was. It's always been with the Almighty YAHWASHI, right? And it said, and it showed glory in the midst of her people. Her people is Israel. Okay. And the congregation of the Most High showed she opened her mouth and triumphed before His power. So in the congregation of the Most High show, she opened her mouth. And it's not all Israel, because all Israel once obtained this perfection in the sense of this wisdom. Now it's only given to the elect. The 2/3 of our people are still blinded to this wisdom. They're gonna have to get it back in the kingdom. Okay? They misused it, misused the prophets, and even the prophets. You know, I'm gonna say not the holy prophets, but you have false prophets. You had men that was in it for themselves, right? So the congregation will be Israel, but it's the elect of the elect. It's the elect of Israel. And it says, in the congregation of the Most High, so she opened her mouth, and the prophets are speaking these prophetic and holy and dynamic words, man. I came out of the mouth. I said I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. This is talking about wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Wisdom was things were created by the words in which was spoken. The elect, we heard a word behind us and we turned around, you know, and it drew us in. The word is the bait. You see, the word is the net. You know, it was drawn and it was drawn and it gathered us up. It was drawn and it cast it and it pulled us up, right? Now when you jump now, he created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. So that word shall never fail, and was created from the beginning. Proverbs 8, right? Now this is talking about YAHWASHI. Now when you go into YAHWASHI is that wisdom. Okay? When you go to jump down, this whole chapter fire. It says, he that obeyed me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not do amiss. Right, these guys are being confounded. Look, 5441, call out YAHWASHI. These guys are being confounded because they don't have YAHWASHI truly in them. You see what I'm saying? When you ask them a certain question pertaining to these new doctrines that they're coming up with, it's a stalemate. Pastor Tara just said it the other day. He said, I'm still waiting, right? Because it's a stalemate. Yo, it's a deeper vendetta. All right, it's a deeper vendetta when it comes to these guys, bro, and these other camps. Don't believe everything you see and hear. All right, it's deeper than what you see and hear, man. It's deeper than what you see and hear. Don't nobody want to let me over, man. Okay, bro. Yeah, for sure. It's that deep. All right. Anyways, now let's jump down. I want to get this particular verse. This is Sirach 24:18. Let's start at 17. As the vine brought out forth pleasant savor, and my flowers are the fruit of honor and riches. I am the mother of fair love, and fear, and knowledge, and holy people. I, therefore, being eternal, right? This wisdom is eternal. The doctrine that we teach in is that eternal doctrine. It's the doctrine that's that lights the kingdom of heaven. It's the doctrine that provides a building for us to rest in forever. It's the you see, it's the very power in which we serve. Am given, it says, being eternal, am given to all my children which are named of him. You see? So it says, come unto me, all ye that be desirous of me, and fill yourselves with my fruits. You see? And again, that word fruits, made man by his fruits. It says, and fill yourselves with my fruits. So the ones who have the true doctrine and that true light, all right? Let me get a quick precept. This is to go with that. This is Ecclesiastes 8. Ecclesiastes 8 in chapter 1. Who it says, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? Right. Only the ones that possess this eternal wisdom can know the interpretation of a thing. Only the ones who possess this eternal wisdom, that's another lesson, the eternal wisdom. Only the ones that possess this eternal wisdom, you see, has the understandings of the mysteries, the histories, the dark sayings and parables, right? And information when it comes to you know, receiving immortality, receiving salvation, you know, not being confounded, right? All the things of above, man. Okay, when it silly neglect, doing the will of the Lord, all these things those individuals going to possess. It says, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. So this wisdom, this eternal wisdom that we possess and hold, it causes our face to shine. Okay, we're shining like YAHAWASHI, because he's in us. It says the light, Psalms 119, 105, the commandments, a lamp unto my feet and light unto my path. You see what I'm saying? So that this wisdom, that this eternal wisdom that we possess, okay, allows us to emulate, if that's the right word, or imitate YAHAWASHI. When you go to the word image, it goes into exact likeness. So when they see us, they supposed to see YAHAWASHI. You see, just like when YAHAWASHI was on the scene, when they saw YAHAWASHI, they were supposed to see Yahweh, because this is Matthew, and I'm gonna get back to that Sirach and close out Matthew 7 and 16. It says, ye should know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Already read that. What I'm thinking about? St. John, Salakia. St. John 7 and 16. That was a spirit though, because it came back out. St. John 7 and 16. And YAHAWASHI answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. And if any man would do his will, he should know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High or whether I speak of myself. It's right. The sincere believers are going to know between these different camps who has the truth. Like I said, when I first came in, I didn't finish it, but certain brothers come in through different camps, through different means, and different people that's not no longer in the truth, right? They teach Egyptology and all type of bugged out shit. First video I ever saw of an Israelite was the dude Yasharallah. He an Egyptologist now, man. He's bugged out of his mind. Dude used to do good videos. The point is that in terms of like showing you who Israel was and so forth, right? But it shows you that the Lord can use anybody to bring you into the truth. See what I'm saying? He could have had a nigga at your job talk about the truth, but that nigga ain't prophesying him. He don't follow Great Millstone and so forth, but he told you about the truth, and then next thing you know what I'm saying, you come across the correct doctrine. You come across the Great Millstone camps and the various affiliates and so forth. Now you got the correct doctrine to seal your faith, to seal your fate of salvation. You see how that goes? That's mercy from the Lord, that the Lord can introduce us to himself by any way. It could be an Edomite that say something godly, right? And then you pick it up and it changed your life. Now you researching on YouTube Bible verses, and next thing you know, Israelite video come up. It can happen all type of ways. You was on social media. Some brothers came in off Instagram. Some brothers came in off Twitter. It's various ways how the spirit moves. It's like the wind. So the point is that the mercy kicks in where the Lord allows us to actually eventually be properly fertilized, properly groomed, and properly cultivated, and properly tilled, right, with the correct doctrine. Because the correct doctrine is what reigns upon us and gives us our wisdom, knowledge, and it keeps us going. You know what I'm saying? You can't put any gas in your car. You can't put any oil in your car. You gotta put the exact oil, the exact gas to keep that motor going. Yeah, you could put water in your tank and you can put different things in there, but it's gonna eventually give out. And that's these other guys. They got other that oil. They got different oil in their tank, and they're starting to fuck their car up now. Their car jerking, and it's making the engine starting to knock by putting bad gas in it. My BMW did that before. They require premium for them BMWs. It's just a better filter gas that goes in, right? And long story short, yeah, you start getting cheap because premium is high, so you get the unleaded gas, and then next thing you know, your engine start knocking. Now it's making your engine go bad because that's not designed to uphold bullshit gas or bullshit oil. Just like the men of the Lord, the elect, the YAHWASHI are not meant to uphold bullshit oil, bullshit doctrines, bullshit gas, man. Only the true doctrine will keep this motor of the elect going, man. So, because that's the same motor that's powering the heavens. It's the same oil that's powering and giving light to the heavens, man. It's the same oil and motor and power that gave us YAHWASHI, manifested YAHWASHI into existence, and that's Yahawah, man. He uphold that light, he uphold that way, and he gave the blueprint, the formula to YAHWASHI, and then YAHWASHI gave it to us. You see? He said, St. John 7:16, and YAHWASHI answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. It belonged to Yahawah. This blueprint, this formula belongs to Yahawah. So you playing with fucking fire, man. This is a serious thing. This is a serious thing, man. These people playing with fire, man. You see, you don't know what hit you. You're gonna find out pretty soon. It says, if any man would do his will, he should know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High, whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. You see, they seeking their own glory. His glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. You see? So there you go. And one more made me think of St. John, in St. John 17:6. I've manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest me them. So like it. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. See? They kept the word, which is YAHWASHI. And they followed the land wherever so he goeth in each generation. And that's that light. Because every time we came back, it was always in the midst of darkness. This place was always was dark. Not only is that its greatest darkness, which is Babylon the Great, and its philosophies and doctrines, its influence on the world now, it's created a darker cloud over this place. But this world was always ran in darkness. But the sons of light always was here as well. You see? And every time we came back, it was an example of the Lord's glory in the earth. You see? That reputation is an extension of YAHWASHI themselves. So going back So Sirach 24 was other precepts that came to my mind, but not to be long when them close out. Sirach 24 and it's 19 again. Come unto me, all ye that be desires of me. Right. Wisdom Solomon 6. Wisdom bringing forth a kingdom. Right. The desire, the desire of wisdom bringing forth a kingdom. Right. The elect are the only ones desiring this wisdom. This same wisdom is the eternal wisdom that powers our very essence and very existence, man. That eternal wisdom, it gives light to the truth. I mean, to the heavens, to the people. Your soul comes from this eternal wisdom. That eternal wisdom is Yahweh, man. And that formula was given to Yahawashi and the elect angels. You see, he said, "I sent forth the apostles last." These different things, the information that we have and we teach about, it came directly from the heavens, man. And it talk about that. The scripture talking about it's not a man, not inspiration from men, but it's inspiration from the Almighty. You see, holy men, as it say, roughly paraphrasing, kind of butcher that, but it was given to a holy man, and they spake holy words that healed the sick, which was us. The elect. We were sick because of the ways of Babylon and the ways of the doctrines of this life. Come unto me, all ye that be desires of me, and fill yourself with my fruits. And we're being filled with the fruits of the Spirit, Galatians 5. Those fruits of the Spirit is pouring in us, right? For my memorial is sweeter than honey, and my inheritance than the honeycomb, right? So if you uphold this wisdom, hey, when you go into the Revelations, the book, the church of Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let me fact check that, because you go into Revelations, talk about the church of Philadelphia. When the pillars and all that, their names would be etched on those pillars. Those are honorable men. Their works followed them. Man, I forget where it's at, man. The body is weak, bro. We forget all the time, bro. Shit is crazy. Oh, I was just here. I just wasn't patient enough. Revelations 3 and 7. And unto the angel of the church of Philadelphia write these things, said he that is holy, he that is true, he that have the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. Let me see. Hold on. Is it Philadelphia? Yeah. Right. So this is why Yahawashi was saying he is saying it to the church of Philadelphia, because of the different things that were taking place. And that's why he mentioned this in verse 12, of him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power. He was talking like this because in Philadelphia, or in that city, it was known for earthquakes, and the people will they knew when the earthquake was coming, and they would have to leave the city so they wouldn't be overtaken by the earthquake. They had to leave out and come back in. Okay, and also in that city you had honorable men for different works, and their names would be etched on pillars, and for example, their works followed them once they would, gave up the ghost. So Yahawashi is making reference to this into the kingdom of heaven. It's the same thing. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power. You see, just like that earthquake, if you overcome that earthquake, right, you overcome these temptations, these doctrines, philosophies, this way of life, I will make a pillar. I will make you a pillar. That's what the Lord is saying. A pillar, go into that word, that definition of pillar. All right, it's fascinating. Okay, and the pillar upholds and distributes the weight between the foundation and the rest of the house. The rest of the house is the nation of Israel. The pillars are the elect, the apostles and the elect, and they're attached to the foundation, which is Yahawashi. And they hold the weight of the rest of the house, which is the rest of the nation of Israel. But the pillars are very important to the establishment of that foundation. I mean, the establishment of that house. You see, they uphold the rest of the house, right? So it's very important for us to teach the right doctrine so that we can seal the elect, which are those pillars to the kingdom of heaven, the same kingdom in which we teach. All these camps teach about the kingdom of heaven and how glorious it is and this and that, but they don't teach the elect. One of the most important things you can do, because those are the pillars to the kingdom. Yahawashi is the foundation, The blue and this blueprint, the foundation, the pillars, and all that, it was given from by Yahweh, the Father, man. It's important to teach the elect. I'll make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And that's, remember, I told you they would have earthquakes in that city, and they would go out, protect themselves from the earthquakes, and then come back in when it was over with. So the Lord said, hey, and he shall go no more out. We ain't gonna have to go out and come back in. We ain't gonna have to go take cover. No, we're gonna be at rest. We're gonna be at peace in the kingdom of YAHAWASHI, man. And I will write upon him the name of my power, right? We're gonna have a new identity. And the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, refreshed. It's gonna be Kainos, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, Revelation 21. And I will write upon him my new name, right? We're gonna have a new identity, a new system, refreshed, new bodies, new way of thinking, right? Well, we have a new way of thinking now. We're gonna be able to exert that new way of thinking at the max. They talking about we only use this percent of our brain. Look, we're gonna be able to use 100% of our brain, our third eye, if you will. Our pineal gland is gonna be at its full capacity, and we're gonna be able to operate in the name of YAHAWASHI to the full degree, which is gonna allow us to manipulate the elements and different things, because that's where it's all through the mind, and it's all, your mind is connected to your spirit. So we're going back to finish out in Sirach 24. 19 again. Come unto me, all you that be desirous of me, that wisdom, and fill yourselves with my fruit. And that's what we have. We have that fruit of wisdom. We have the fruit of eternal wisdom in us, right? It says, for my memorial, again, those names etched on those pillars that we just read in Revelation 3, right? And for my memorial, sweeter than honey, and my inheritance than the honeycomb, right? The memorial of wisdom, it lasts forever. All right, people talk about what the creation of earth to this day. If that wasn't relevant, no one would talk about it. But it's because of that wisdom that's backed by the creation of everything we see. It's talked about in the earth because it's magnificent. It's now people twist it and turn it and make it their Big Bang theory and all that shit. But the fact that they coming up with a concept like, yo, how was earth created? How was the sun sitting in the sky and then rising, and the moon and the oceans don't pass the land, and everything you see in creation, man, it's talked about. So the memorial of wisdom, because this all was done through wisdom. We talk about that in Proverbs 8. Through wisdom, all these things were created. Wisdom Solomon 7. Wisdom Solomon 12. Thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. So the wisdom, that eternal wisdom that always was and always will be, which is Yahweh, is going to always be talked about. So if we abide in that wisdom, we attach ourselves to that eternal talk. We attach ourselves to that eternal conversation. It says, they that eat me shall yet, it says, they that eat me shall yet be hungry, and they that drink me shall yet be thirsty. See, ain't that what Yahawah said in Saint John? Let me go to the 4th chapter. He told the lady at the well, which is not an Israelite, by the way. St. John 4:10, Yahawah answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that said to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Let's jump down to 13. Yahawah answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Talking about that well they was at. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. This Yahawah saying the water he shall give them shall never thirst. But the waters that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The eternal wisdom. The eternal wisdom. This is the formula in which we have been given. This same formula of the eternal wisdom has given is the same formula that created the very existence of earth, us, Yahawah, the elect angels, right? The earth and everything in it, and the galaxies in the universe. That same eternal wisdom did all of that. That same eternal wisdom did everything we see. That's why Yahawah said what he said. And he is that, he's the first expression of that wisdom, created from the mouth, as we read earlier, up in this chapter, Sirach 24. Yahawah was created, the only begotten by the Father that was created, and that from that eternal wisdom, and it created everything else. That's why he said, I am the vine, ye are the branches. Without me, you can do nothing. You see? We're an extension of that wisdom. In this world, on this life, don't we got something called an extension cord? The extension cord is an extension. It helps us reach the power source at a further distance, you know. But which makes us makes us one with that power. It's just an extension cord. We're an extension of Yahweh through YAHAWASHI. We can't, without the extension cord, I can't reach the power outlet, the power source from X amount of feet away. I have to have that extension cord. I have to have that mediator that connects me to the power. And that's YAHAWASHI. He's an extension of that wisdom, which makes us also an extension of that wisdom. So it's very important to do and what YAHAWASHI is telling us to do. Because that's the only thing that's going to build the house. That's the only thing that's going to mold the bricks and seal it up from no rain getting in and don't sink it in the ground and falling over when the wind beat against it. The wind is these different doctrines and philosophies beating in the minds of the people, man, mainly the elect. We seal the elect with the right doctrine, so when that wind comes, boom, boom, they won't be tainted by the philosophy and the doctrines that you hear out here, because it is tempting. It is, because it's backed by left-hand energy. It's tempting. It can have you thinking shit, man. And then what we do, we rebuke it in the name of YAHWASHI, because that's the power. But that's that wisdom, bro. And closing out, Sirach 24 and 32. No, that's 24. Faint not, be strong in the Lord, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him. We cleave unto this wisdom. For the Lord Almighty is power alone, and beside him there is no other Savior. He filleth all things with his wisdom, as Pison and Tigris in the time of the new fruits. He maketh the understanding to abound like Euphrates, and as the Jordan in the time of the harvest. Right? You could read this. He's just giving the different bodies of water. You could read that, I think, was it Genesis 2? But he's giving examples of how his wisdom, how he dwell amongst the things that he create. You know what I'm saying? How he deal. You know, it says, but that's why he's talking about in the next verse 27. Because the Euphrates River is the example. One of the examples he just gave. He said, "I make up the understanding to abound like the Euphrates, and as Jordan in the time of her harvest." Right? It bring Euphrates is still known as the Euphrates River today. It's a big body of water. Okay, or it's a big body of water. Okay, just like if you're thinking like the Mississippi or like the Nile River and so forth, it's a big body of water. These waters are important for vegetation and life to continue in those particular land masses. They're very important to the ecosystem. These particular waters, they give hydration to the cities and the land and so forth, right? It says he maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light and as Gion in the time of vintage. The first man knew her not perfectly, no more should the last find her out. For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep. I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. A brook is a body of water. That all bodies of water lead back to the ocean, supposedly. You see what I'm saying? Esau got these man-made rivers, but all water goes to the ocean. If you can find a river, if you follow it, you'll find the ocean. Okay, and it's an extension of the ocean. Like, we're an extension of that main body of water, which is YAHWASHI. So that's why he said he maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light. This doctrine has appeared, and we uphold to it. When we continue in it, because this is what's getting us up out of prison. Right? This is the good news, that we're going to receive salvation. YAHWASHI exists. He's actually coming, not a myth or nothing like that. And our enemy is going to be put under our feet. These are true sayings and true sentences and statements. It says, I said I will water my best garden, and that's the elect, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. You see? I will yet make, right, it's all connect. The brook is a smaller body of water, and a river is a bigger body of water from a brook, and that same water is connected to the sea, which is a larger body of water. I will yet make my doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. And that's what YAHWASHI did. We are a connection to that light. Y'all, St. John in chapter 1, he said, I am not that light, but I came to bear witness of that light. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. Behold that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. You see that? This is why we continue in the doctrine. This is why we continue in the things that we were taught. You see? This is why it's important. You see? This is why it's important. We got to continue in the right doctrine because it's the only thing. It's the only thing. It's not nothing else that can get us out of prison, that can give us salvation, that connects us to YAHAWASHI, that allows us to eat properly, to allow us to drink properly, not to be consumed by Esau Edom and the wizardry, not to fucking be a fucking weirdo out here. This is the only thing that allows full access to that eternal wisdom, which is the eternal wisdom itself. This is the formula, and we must continue in it and teach it how it was taught. Can't deviate from how it was taught. The moment you fuck up, you can make a schism in the body, which is a schism in the building, and let the right proper storm come. That schism is gonna be found out. Nothing is in the dark should be hid. It's gonna be manifested that whoever built on the side built this, they built it wrong. They built it wrong. And now a lot of casualties are on their behalf. A lot of casualties they're responsible for. That blood is on your hand. You build wrong, the blood is on your hand. We cannot build wrong. It's important for us to build right. That's why we study and we go over these things constantly and over again. So yeah, so Lord, it went way longer than I expected, but again, it's important to stick to the formula, and the elect is going to stick to the formula, right? They follow. Let's close with that. I quoted it earlier, but we close with that. Matthew 10. It's Matthew 10 and 6. But go rather. Oh no. Slack it. Let me see. It's Matthew 10. Is it Matthew 10? Hold on, bear with me, man. I thought it was Matthew 10. I'm gonna read this though. Matthew 10 and 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. I read that earlier. I thought it was Matthew 10 though. Let me see. Follow. I thought it was Matthew 10. What is going on? This is Matthew 19. And yeah, it's in this one too. Matthew 19 and 28. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So there you go. You see, there you have it. The Lord has particular spirits who follow him in every reincarnation and every lifespan, man. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH. Double honors to our elders and apostles, great millstone, bishop, elder apostles, bishops, and great millstone. Peace I taste to the whole flag. Till next time, wap ball, shalom.